Yo, this your boy EC22, and this is the Fairweather Fan Channel, man. Before we go any further, always say like, subscribe, share, leave comments, but most of all, join this conversation as we talk. This is an episode of Let's Talk About It, brought to you by your boy EC22, where we just talk about a few things on some hot topics that's been going around, and you already see the clip now, man. Hey, D, I'm going to give my unpopular opinion surrounding the Sherrone Moore situation, the ex-Mexican coach who got fired for fooling around with a staffer. But before I go there, I want to go ahead and pick up another little real quick hot topic. Our girl Aja Wilson just recently did a Time article. Did have an article in Time magazine, and man, it was a very insightful article. Man, they brought out a lot of details about her upbringing, about how she got introduced to basketball, and just what a lovely story. I mean, you see these stories all the time, but just hearing it from the vantage point of Angel Wilson, I mean Aja Wilson, and all the things that she had to go through and adversity makes how she is today and the way she plays today, it makes it that much more meaningful through all the things she had to go through to be where she is right now. And it's just a phenomenal read. So, just go to Time article, Time magazine, find the article. You can Google it and read it for yourself, man. You won't be disappointed. However, there's the things I want to point out in this article. Right? For you podcasters out there, y'all got to quit doing this. Y'all got to stop doing this. I was first introduced to the article through social media, but it wasn't in the light that I thought it was. This whole big long article that talked about her life, saying from a young girl all the way up to a WNBA pro, how she was in college and stuff like that. A late bloomer, didn't really play too much in high school, all this, but they sent around on one particular part that was at the top of that article about the person who put this article together. They made a mention about the race narrative that was spent behind Caitlin Clark, name being put out by being one of the greatest WNBA players, undermining the women who's already been there before, right? A league that's totally dominated by black, and how they push this narrative out front, and how Aja Wilson, who currently at that time when Caitlin Clark came in, was already a two-time MVP, right? And then won it that year, and then won it the next year. So it's like all this narrative behind Caitlin Clark, and yes, here is Aja Wilson who remained silent, who didn't say anything. Finally, doing a sit down article, just basically said, "Listen, I have to. Now the people are watching. I have to make sure I do my part and give them a show and be the same person I was." She wasn't fret behind that. She wasn't tripping behind that, right? So it was enough said, right? Whoever interviewed her brought it up. Hey, listen, look, I came to do my job. And yeah, whatever it is what it is. It is embarrassing when you sit in a league of unforgottens, all the women who's been there, and all of a sudden you get this one individual to come in and then boom, take all the attention away. Yes, that is the place that you don't want to be. You got to respect the women for who they are. However, the point that I'm making with the podcast is that they tried to spin and flip this narrative to make it seem like Aja Wilson is the one who had a problem with the race. She the one that was having a problem with Caitlin Clark. Y'all need to stop doing it. Y'all need to stop doing that. Whoever you are in the podcast, listen, don't do that, right? Aja Wilson is a phenomenal basketball player. She's not in the weeds. She's not in the mud. She's not a nasty person. She's definitely not a drama person, right? Here's a woman who just won it all this past year. And of course, she's excited. She's saying now, finally the recognition has come. But you podcasters, y'all be careful like that, because y'all are trying to spin and create a narrative that just doesn't exist, right? Don't do that, right? However, I will say this to the mainstream media, right? It's partly your fault too, because the mainstream media, you have all the viewerships. You have all the resources. Why isn't Aja Wilson more talked about? Yeah, she finally got a few endorsement deals, finally, but she should have already had it, right? But why is she most talked about? She should be on sitcoms, doing the cameos on sitcoms, all the commercials, not just the Nike commercial that we see and a few endorsements she has. I mean, she need to be out there, because what she done since she's been in the league has superseded everybody's expectation. She is right now, in a lot of people's eyes, the greatest women's basketball player we've ever seen. Definitely the most dominant, right? I still have a bias towards Cynthia Cooper and Maya Moore, but what Aja Wilson has been able to do since she's been in the league is phenomenal and against all odds, right? And I know y'all say, well, Eric, what do you want? I want her to be talked about in the same aspect of a Serena Williams. Because I think that's where she belongs. She need to be in the same category as Serena Williams. Because, I mean, what more do you want from her? She's done everything. She's accomplished everything. She is the GOAT, this generation's GOAT. And put her in that conversation. And the reason why I say something like, oh, well, it's too early, because no, it's not. Because no disrespect to Caitlin Clark, but y'all made her the best WNBA player ever, and she didn't even touch the hardwood yet her rookie season. Never won a championship on any level. Still hasn't. But for whatever reason, the machine got behind her and declared her being the best women's basketball player ever. That was way too soon for a person who haven't never put their foot on the hardwood. So don't tell me that it's too soon to call A'ja Wilson being the greatest amongst female athletes, period. Should be named in the same categories as the Serena Williams and other phenomenal female athletes out there. You know, the Simone Biles. She need to be put in that category. And not just African-American athletes, but women athletes, period. That's where A'ja Wilson need to be. Put some respect on her name. Now let's go in and just talk about what I came in to talk about, man. Sherrone Moore, listen. My brother. Everybody's been talking about it. It's been out there. He got fired for fooling around with a staffer and a subordinate against not just college protocol, but every major business protocol. You cannot be fooling around with a staff member that works up under you. That's just what that is. And I don't know where he didn't get that memo or didn't feel like it applied to him. I don't know. But however way, he's been fired for that. And then after he get fired, he goes to the young lady's house in a rage, threatening to kill himself, obviously upset, and then boom, now this is where he's ended up. And everybody's been talking about it. Everybody's been giving their spin. Listen, the one thing I don't like about this, once again, is some of the narratives, right? One of the narratives that comes out and say that, oh, this is going to set African-American coaches back, and particularly Michigan is going to keep them from hiring more black coaches. Listen, if you believe that narrative, if you really, really believe that narrative, y'all, that's silly. I don't care who your favorite podcaster is, who your favorite analyst is. Some of this stuff is just entertaining now, but that's not real life situation. And I'm going to call him out. Bubba Dub, I love his podcast. I love who he is, but him spinning that narrative is incorrect, and that's negligent. Ryan Clark, mainstream media guy and a podcaster. Listen, I don't care if you like him or not. Him spinning that narrative and throwing it out there is incorrect. And that just is laughable to say. Sherrone Moore is a good coach. He is who he is. And I like who he is. And what he's done for the Michigan football team is phenomenal work, his short time there. There should be no reason why he shouldn't get a job once he gets through all this litigation, because at the end of the day, talent is talent. We watched the whole situation that go down with Emi Udoka over in Boston. The whole situation, him fooling with a staff member, same situation. He just didn't go and get arrested afterwards, right? But he knew who his celebrity fiance was. He spit the same media. With all that, went right down to Houston, got him a job, and doing well with that team. Because if you got talent, you got talent. Those are moral flaws. That has nothing to do with what you're able to do in your profession as a coach. And it shouldn't affect Sherrone Moore. What's going to affect him more is not this situation with this girl he's been fooling around with. What's going to affect him more is him now getting a felony of conviction, if that be the case. That's what's going to affect him more, right? But still, even with that felony conviction, he can still coach, right? And that should not keep other black coaches out of that pool, you know what I'm saying, when they're looking for new hires because of what he did. That's y'all, that is a negligent reporting and podcasting and broadcasting if we're gonna spin that narrative, right? At the end of the day, y'all, I said this earlier in one of my episodes. The most unpopular opinion behind us all situation is this: he gonna need grace just like everybody else, because nobody's perfect. You may not have made the exact same mistake, because a lot of you out there being hypocritical. How could he do this? How could he do that? Listen, you didn't make the same mistakes, but you made some mistakes in your life. Your stuff didn't go viral, right? Go back in the Rolodex of your memory. And if God were to put on display all the mistakes you made, you'd probably be getting 2 million views tonight. You dig what I'm saying? So have grace for the man. He made a mistake. or several mistakes. He's got to live with those mistakes. He's got to eat the bitter fruit of those mistakes. But my prayer is that Sherrone Moore will come out victorious through it all. My prayers for his family and everybody involved, not just Sherrone Moore, his wife, his kids, the young lady involved, her family, because everybody's getting it. So I just pray that we just continue to have grace through it all. Let's go to the comment section. Thank you, Justin, for joining, my brother. Thank you. Yeah, we just got to have grace and just keep moving it forward, y'all. This your boy EC 22 minutes. All I have for this particular episode. Join us at the top of the hour for the Fair Weather Fan podcast. I got Coach D-Way. I got my boy J-Dub coming in, and we're going to just get ready to talk some NFL football, man, what we see out there, man. Y'all just keep pushing the unpopular opinion. Y'all, I can't stress that enough, man, because the hypocrisy is out there. I'm not going to beat this dead horse because I've already said it. But, man, what up, Jonathan G? I want to beat this dead horse, but y'all listen. Once again, for those who are just getting on, what I was basically saying is we need to have grace for Sherrone Moore, right? And stop the negative narratives out there, right? Stop it. And I'll say this by anybody, not just because he's a black man, but anybody, right? That's just what people do in social media. And I know it gets you clicks and likes and stuff like that, but y'all, at one point, there are people that are hurting. They can't escape it because the people like us in podcasting world can't stop posting. And I hope his family sees it. If y'all see this, a Sherrone Moore family and whoever the young lady our family is listening, you're not going to get that from me. I'm praying for you. I'm hoping for the best for you. And join us at the top of the hour, 6 o'clock. This your boy EC22 until 6 p.m. I'll see you then. Once again, like, subscribe, share, leave comments so you can join this conversation. This your boy EC22, and I am out.